Member for Hawkesbury seeks leave to make a contribution. Is leave granted?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Member for
Thank
Hawkesbury.
you, and thank you, Mr Speaker. The New South Wales Government shares the member for Blue Mountain's concerns about those impacted by sexual assault and is committed to protecting victim survivors and ensuring that women are safe from sexual predation. In response to the current allegations within Federal Parliament, the Women's March for Justice held on more than 40 rallies on Monday on the 15th of March 2021. This moment, built on the stories of thousands of brave women across our communities, was unmistakably very powerful. We as a nation must get our response right. We must hear and really listen to the complex reasons women are so deeply aggrieved. Organisers are calling on politicians to address and to put to an end the issues of sexism, misogyny, dangerous workplace cultures and lack of equality in politics and the community at large. These requests include full, independent investigations into instances of gendered violence in politics, with full public accountability for findings, the removal of perpetrators from positions of power, and the implementation of the 55 recommendations put forward in Respect at Work, the Australian Human Rights Commission's 2020 report of the National Inquiry into Sexual Harassment. As the Australian Human Rights Commission has reported, almost 2 in 5, that's 39% of women, and just over 1 in 4 men, 26%, have experienced sexual harassment in the workplace in the past 5 years. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people were more likely to have experienced workplace sexual harassment than people who are non-Indigenous, that's 53% and 32% respectively. Sexual harassment occurs at all levels in every workplace across our nation, including Parliament. Isn't that worrying? The New South Wales Government is committed to working with the Commonwealth Government on a nationally coordinated response to the Australian Human Rights Commission's AHRC Respect at Work Sexual Harassment National Inquiry report in 2020. On April the 8th, 2021, the Commonwealth Government released their response to the report, a roadmap for respect, preventing and addressing sexual harassment in Australian workplace, known as the Roadmap. The Roadmap responds to all of the 55 recommendations made in the Respect at Work report. A National Cabinet meeting was held on the 9th of April 2021, where the Respect at Work report and the Commonwealth Government's Roadmap for Respect response was discussed. At that meeting, New South Wales, along with other states and territories, agreed to provide a formal response to the Respect at Work. The New South Wales Government is already taking action on a number of recommendations, including via the New South Wales Women's Strategy 2018 to 2022 and the New South Wales Sexual Assault Strategy 2018 to 2021. Some of these programs include the Make an Adult community education campaign, which identifies a continuum from sexual harassment to sexual assault and the importance of consent. The New South Wales Domestic and Family Violence and Sexual Assault Corporate Leadership Group convened to provide strategic leadership from a range of industries and professions, promoting safe workplaces free of harassment. Support to New South Wales universities and university residential colleges to support the implementation of the recommendations from the AHRC Change the Course report. A sexual assault toolkit currently being developed by ACON for LGBTQ communities to recognise and respond to sexual assault will include unpacking myths and attitudes that condone or enable sexual harassment in LGBTQ community settings. In addition, the New South Wales Government joined our Watch for 1 July 2019, making New South Wales part of a cohesive national primary prevention approach. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Member for Newtown seeks leave to make a contribution. Is leave granted?
Yes, it is.
Yes.